Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Along with Firearms. I'm your host, Juan J. Johnson, coming to you live on this Monday, August 21st, 2023. I look forward to having a great conversation with you tonight. I need you right now to share. I need you right now to like. And I need you right now to call a friend, call a neighbor. Call someone and let them know that Lone Wolf Firearms is on tonight, and we will be talking about God, guns, and the Second Amendment. You heard it right. God, guns, and the Second Amendment, family. Why is that important? I think a lot of us, we don't really read these constitutions. We don't read them. See, where's that book at? It's right here, the Constitution right here. I keep one. This is my personal copy I keep in my pocket. You know, we don't really read these constitutions. We don't read. We hear about the Constitution, but we don't really read these constitutions. So it is my job and my duty tonight to bring clarity to the Second Amendment while discussing God and while discussing guns and seeing how the three all blend in together, all three of them. Before I get into the topic, let me first take care of some maintenance. I need you to go to lwftraining.com. Again, lwftraining.com is on your screen. Okay. If you need firearms training, wear and carry, conceal carry, if you need to be able to walk as a law-abiding citizen in this nation, go to lwftraining.com and sign up for the wear and carry classes. These classes are 16 hours minimum, and they could be longer. The goal is not to get you to rush you through the class. The goal is to give you the instructions, the information you need to become a responsible gun owner and gun user. So if you have already secured your permit, your license, and you're not real comfortable with the information you receive from another instructor, go to lwftraining.com. If you're also interested in securing your handgun qualification license, which allows you to purchase a gun, the wear and carry is not the same as the HQL. That handgun qualification license allows you to buy the gun. If you have a wear and carry and you do not have a HQL, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot buy a gun. You can't buy a gun. You need to secure the HQL if you want to purchase the gun. Okay? With that said, right now, we're running a special. If you enter the class and you decide that you want that wear and carry or conceal carry, the HQL is thrown in as a gift. That's right, I said it. If you take the class for the wear and carry, we would throw in the HQL. Don't have to do that, family. Don't have to do that at all. But I believe that, you know what, in the bigger scheme of things, the HQL is a 4-hour class. Could be 5, could be 6 hours. Again, it's not about rushing you. It's not about trying to get you a license and you don't know the laws, and you don't know how to properly make the gun safe, or you don't know how to clean the gun, or you don't know how to identify the parts of the gun. No. When you go through the class, you will know the laws and you will know when and when not to stop the threat. I repeat, when you go through the class, you will come back with an understanding of when and when not to stop the threat. I repeat, whether you're in the HQL class or whether you're in the wear and carry class, you will have a thorough knowledge of when and when not to shoot your gun. I promise you that. Also, again, if you just want laser tactical training, meaning a laser gun, not the real gun, but a simulated laser gun, which, if you're afraid of guns, the laser gun will be perfect for you because there's no ammunition. Okay. And it also has a battery magazine that inserts into the gun. And it feels and it shoots with the same points, the trigger points that you have on your real guns. You can go through that class. It's about 2 hours, just like an intro to basic class, and you can receive some instructions, tactical training on the laser gun. And if you just want an introduction to firearms, which is a 2 hour class, maybe an hour and a half, okay, sign up for that. 2 hours. And we can do that on the Zoom. That's right. We can do an intro to firearms on a Zoom. Now, you may not be able to get that hands on with the gun, but trust me, you would achieve or receive so much information with that intro to basic that you would learn things that you've never learned before, and you will see things that you've never seen before. Okay. Also, if you have in your possession handguns, rifles, shotguns, revolvers, semi-automatics that you no longer want. I mean, some people just don't want the guns in the house. Some people just don't want the guns. And I can understand that. I mean, I'm seeing so many churches run these gun buybacks and they give little $25 gift certificates or some tickets to a game. I encourage you, don't take your gun to the church. Go to lwftraining.com or go to lonewolffirearm@gmail.com. We will come out to your location. We will secure the weapons, make sure they're safe, and provide the paperwork where you can transfer your gun from your location to the company for educational purpose. Again, so there's no excuses right now for you not to either become a responsible gun owner or gun user. There's no excuse for you to not contact us if you have a gun and you don't want to know more. Don't call the police and don't call the church. I'm that I will personally come to your location and secure those weapons and take them off your hand if you no longer want those guns no more. It could be a rifle, it could be a shotgun, it could be a revolver, it could be a semi-automatic. Contact me, lonewolffirearm@gmail.com. I'll help you out. Okay, with that said, also, I need you to share this video. I need you to like or dislike. And I need you to subscribe. Okay. I need to the like and share because of the algorithms. The more people that like and share, it makes a difference. Okay. So with that said, I do not want to be before you long, but I do want to address this Second Amendment head on. There's a lot going on in our nation, family. There's a lot going on as far as guns and gun responsibility and crime and possessions and property. So I just believe that I want to attack this Second Amendment head on. I'm not a lawyer. I am a retired police officer. We enforce the laws. Okay. We, myself, others who are in law enforcement or prior law enforcement, we pledged an oath to enforce the laws. Okay. So I'm going to give you my perspective on this Second Amendment, the importance of the Second Amendment, the genesis of the Second Amendment, and what it means for you, not just for me, but what it means for you, your nation, the city, okay, what it means for all of us. So let's just go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's deal with the Second Amendment right now. Again, I need you to like it. I need you to share. I need you to subscribe to the channel. What is the Second Amendment? What does it mean? Okay. A well-regulated militia being necessary to secure or to the security of the free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. Let me give you another definition, and because I want to really break it down, and I'm gonna deal with that word militia. I'm gonna deal with the free state, and I'm gonna deal with the bear arms. It also says this: the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to possess a firearm, unconnected with service in a militia, and to use that arm for traditional purposes such as self-defense within the community. Let me see something, family. Hold on a second. Let me see something. I need to see. Sometimes these folks, it's okay. I just want to make sure that I'm public. I'm not private. Again, the Second Amendment protects an individual right to possess a firearm. Say that again. The Second Amendment protects you, the citizens, Joe Blow, Mary Sue, right to possess a firearm, unconnected with service in the militia. Okay, meaning whether you're in the militia as a citizen or not, the Second Amendment protects you to use that firearm for traditional lawful purposes, such as self-defense within the home. Why is that important? Why is that important, family? It's important because you need to know that the founding fathers recognized that the people needed to be able to protect themselves. Okay? Not just themselves personally, but from the government and from outside forces. Let me go here and deal with the writer of the Second Amendment, James Madison. The Second Amendment, ratified in 1791, was proposed by James Madison to allow the creation of a civilian force that can counteract a tyrannical federal government. This is a recent definition. August 11th, 2023. James Madison ratified the Second Amendment in 1791 and was proposed to allow you, the civilians. I'm not talking about military. I'm not talking about the Army. I'm not talking about the Navy, the Air Force, Marines. I'm not talking about the Coast Guard. I'm not talking about the National Guard. I'm not talking about the county police. I'm not talking about your local police, your sheriffs, your municipals. I'm talking about the Second Amendment is for the civilians. The militia consists of the civilians. If you are a civilian, a legal citizen in America, black, white, Asian, Latino, African, Jamaican, okay, Jew, Italian, German, Australian, if you are a legal citizen in these United States of America, the Second Amendment applies to you. It applies to you, family. You have to know that that's important. Why is that important? Because it's a right of the people. It's a right. And I see many of us are ignoring or surrendering our right to bear arms, to protect ourselves, and not just your family, but to protect ourselves. And I really want to really drive this home. Let me give you another one. Watch this. The Second Amendment protects an individual right to possess a firearm unconnected with the military, with the militia, and to use that for traditional lawful purposes. Let me go here. Militia is defined a military force that is raised from the civil population or the civilian population to supplement a regular army in an emergency. Creating a militia was no answer to the Army's manpower problem. Say that again. Militia is a military force that is raised from the civilian population. If you're not in the military, you are civilian. If you're not in law enforcement, you are civilian. If you're not with the National Guard, if you're not with the Coast Guard, if you're not in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Marines, you are civilian. And you have a right to bear arms. You have a right to protect yourself. You have a right, family. And I don't want you to squander that right. I don't want you to sleep on that right. I want you to embrace that right. I need you to consider to be a responsible gun owner and gun user. I need you to think twice about not protecting yourself. I need you to come to the realization that I don't have everything I need to protect myself. Yes, my hands are good. And you may even have some nunchucks. You may even have a little spear or a bow and arrow. That may not be sufficient. I need you to embrace all of your Second Amendment right. All of it. All of it. Okay? It's important because, again, it's not just for protecting yourself. It's also about protecting the free state. As I go back to the definition, it says a well-regulated militia being necessary to secure of the free state. Now, back in those days, the free states were considered those states that prohibited slavery. But now, in the 21st century, there's no slavery except for mental. I'm not going to deal with that. But as far as physical slavery, that's gone. That's gone. So the Second Amendment requires a well-regulated militia to secure from Rhode Island to California, all free states, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, and it will not be infringed, family. It will not be infringed. I need you, and I'm begging you, I'm pleading for you to become responsible gun owners and gun users. Let's deal with the word infringe, because we hear infringe thrown around a lot. So what does it say? Infringe refers to encroachment on a public or sovereign right. In other words, a right handed down collectively by the people as a sovereign body, like a state. So states are free. Remember, the Second Amendment dealt with the security of a free state. So infringement on the individual's right. You're free. You're a free man that can go in any state in this union and walk with your heads up proud, with your back arched. It's a free man, a free woman, with all the bells and whistles, all the rights and privileges that come with being a free man, a free woman. At the same time, you have a constitutional right to bear arms, but you still have to check out each state and see what their rules, what their laws are. But at the end of the day, family, you are free, not just free to wear clothes, to buy shoes, to wear jewelry, to eat at the best restaurants, but you're free to possess a firearm, to protect yourself, to protect your family, to protect the community, to protect the city, to protect the state, and you just may have to protect the nation. The nation. Watch this. There was a case in DC in 2008. Let me go here real quick. The case in the District of Columbia versus Heller, where the Supreme Court held that the Second Amendment protects an individual. This is you, your mama, your grandmama, your children at the legal age, a right to possess a firearm unconnected with service in a militia. Did you hear that? You have a right to protect yourself. And not just protect yourself, to bear arms, family. A rifle, shotgun, a handgun, and a semi-automatic. Okay? You need to know this. You need to know this. Why is that important, family? Because people will encroach on you. They will come on your property and maybe even try to take your property. Encroachment. Let's deal with the word encroachment. Encroachment happens when someone versus the boundaries outlined in a survey, violating the property rights of violating the property rights of another property owner. Encroachment on someone else's property is akin to trespassing. Why is that important? We don't just have this Second Amendment to protect ourselves. We have this Second Amendment to protect our property as property owners from trespassers and people who would encroach on your property. That's important, family. That's very important. Family, I'm going to need you. I'm going to need you to really, 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 really learn to defend yourselves. Do not leave the protection and the defense of yourself in the hands of somebody else. Don't you leave the protection and the defense of yourself in the hands of law enforcement. I did law enforcement for a long time, and I'm telling you right now, there are not enough police officers to protect you. There are not enough National Guards. There are not enough Coast Guards. There are not enough members in the armed forces to protect you. You must take the responsibility of protecting yourself. You must be the protector of yourself. And I know a lot of women are hearing me on this broadcast. You're unprotected. Yes, you're unprotected. You don't have a man nowhere around. You don't have a boyfriend. You don't have a husband. You don't have an uncle. You don't have a cousin. You don't have a dad. You don't have a granddad. You don't have nobody, no males around you to help you protect yourself. And this is why you need to be able to protect yourselves like never before. Do not leave the protection of yourself in the hands of another person. Say this again. You do not leave the protection of you and your family and your possessions in the hands of somebody else. You don't do that, family. Why would you leave the protection of yourself in somebody else's hand? When the Supreme Court has already said that the Second Amendment protects an individual right to possess. If your mama don't want a gun, okay, that's all right. But when you come to the age where you can have one, you get you one. And let me say this. Let me say this. Because let's deal with that militia piece real quick. The militia of the United States consists of all able-bodied males at least 17 years of age, and except as provided in Section 313 of Title 32, under 45 years of age who are or who have made a declaration of intention to become a citizen of the United States and of female citizens of the United States. So this whole militia piece, it encompasses not just the males, but the females and all those who have declared an intention of becoming citizens. And I see it often at the ranges or in classes that a lot of people from other countries, after they've gone through their citizenship process and they swear to the flag, they immediately become responsible owners of guns and users. Okay? That's very important. Because I'm saying that people from other countries come here to take in all of the Constitution, all of the Bill of Rights, and the folks who are here are just hesitant, doubtful, and plain just not even paying attention. They're not. So I'm calling on those under the sound of my voice who are watching this program. I also need you to share this program. I need you to like it or unlike it. Okay. And I need you to subscribe to the channel. That's what I need you to do. Okay. Again, the militia of the United States consists of all able-bodied males. For all these women or all these males, all these fathers and mothers out here who are trying to protect them sons from becoming gun owners or gun users, if we are invaded by a foreign government, the government has a right to call on all able-bodied males as part of their militia and arm them at the ripe age of 17 up until 45. And I ain't 45. I'm in my 50s, but I'm on board. I'm all in. I'm all in with that. I'm all in with that. All the protection. Because I already know if and when we are invaded, the invaders are not going to spare you because you don't have a gun. They're not going to spare you because of your beliefs. They're not going to ask you, are you a Muslim? Or are you a Christian? Or are you an atheist? They're going to see your color. They're not going to ask you if you're pro-black or you white nationalists. When they come in to take over the nation. They come in to kill, steal, and destroy the people. They will probably leave the buildings and the infrastructure intact, but they will eliminate the people. Why? Because when you're at war, it's a scorched earth philosophy. Destroy everything, but try to keep the resources and the infrastructure in place. Okay? It will be bloody. It's supposed to be bloody because it's a war. And I want to get your minds conditioned to, again, we are in the era of war. I've been telling you this. I've been sounding the alarm that if we are supporting Ukraine with arms, planes, ammunition, then we're at war with Ukraine against Russia. And if you have watched the news and see what's going on in Africa, you're seeing the African nations are rising up against Western interest. Do you hear me, people? If you are paying attention, you are seeing that the African nations are rising up against the French and America, and Russia has literally armed them, has literally decided, I'm going to supply firearms, jets, whatever you need to be a free state. That's deep. That's deep. So you had America, the European powers, or I would say, just look up the Belgium Conference. The people who split Africa in parts. And now the African nations are rising up. They're kicking the powers out, the colonial powers out. When I tell you we are at war, and I'm trying to get your mind ready for what's going on now so you won't be surprised. I don't want y'all to be saying, what's going on? What's happening? Where's this coming from? If you are so in tune with your legacy media, which is not talking about this, if all you hear is ABC, NBC, CNN, Fox, and you're not getting it from other sources and seeing that Africa is rising, bloodshed is imminent, you're doing yourself a disservice. This may be one of the most important broadcasts I've done because, again, I expect American citizens to come to the realization that we are very close to war, not just a foreign war, but even a civil war. Okay? And for all those who have an issue with arming themselves, okay, I understand that. But don't stop those who are born warriors. Don't stop those who want to protect Don't stop those who see what time it is. Again, there was a tribe of Issachar, and they knew what time it is or it was. Okay? So again, family, I need you to be serious. Again, serious people do serious things. And when you're talking about guns, the way I'm talking about it, this is a very serious topic because it's so strong emotions attached to it. There are folks that's for guns and there's folks that's against guns. And I'm on board with protecting myself and my family and my community and my city and my state. And if I got to, I'm going to protect the nation that I'm a part of. So much bigger than the guns, family. So much bigger than the guns. Good to see you, Trinidad Lattimore. Yes, I saw that today. Yes, yes, yes. I need you guys to cut back on the foolishness, what you're watching on TV, and get serious. Because I don't know if you're ready for the bloodshed. I don't know if you're ready for the bloodshed that you could be seeing very soon. The media has been very strategic in not showing the bloodshed that's going on in Russia between Ukraine. But they may not be able to hide that bloodshed that's going to take place in Africa. Okay? Because we're talking about pipelines, oil, gas pipelines. We're talking about Africans are saying we no longer want to assist you in robbing our countries. And we want you out. And I know the Western powers is not going for that. They will go to war. Again, family, we are in the era of war, and your man, Juan J. Johnson, is trying to warn you right now. I'm trying to warn you in advance. So when it happens, you won't be surprised. You won't be surprised. Okay? Um, so again, I need you to be about the business of becoming responsible gun owners, gun users. Watch this. Watch this. Let me give you this. Let me give you this about militias. Again, we read that before, that a militia is a military force that is raised from the civilian population to supplement a regular army. That's what they did in Ukraine. When Ukraine, before they went to war, only the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Marines had the weapons. And when Russia struck, they had to what? Supply arms to the civilian population. Watch this. In the U.S., all able-bodied citizens eligible for law to be called on to provide military service supplementary to the regular armed services, you will be called on. You will be called on. If you're able-bodied citizen, if and when the war takes place, you will be called on. Okay? It's just that serious. Now, I know, again, when you don't control the media, you don't control the narrative. So the legacy media has been very instrumental in putting out just foolishness, stuff that I don't want to hear about celebrities. I don't want to hear about entertainers. I don't want to hear about basketball players. I don't want to hear about the NFL. I don't want to hear about basketball because all these things are just distractions. Just distractions. They keep you from being serious about what's going on. They keep you on a diet of foolishness. I'm trying to wake you up to see it's so much bigger than what you're getting on a daily basis. So again, I'm hoping. Well, let me give one more scripture. Let me give one more fact. One more fact, because I think that this is God guns in the Second Amendment. So let's deal with what God said. Let's deal with one of my favorite scriptures. Um, yeah, one of my favorite scriptures right here. Because again, a lot of us are hesitant about the guns because we're so concerned with what the Lord said. What would God think about me having a gun? He's against that. Well, Luke 22, that's not the one I wanted. Luke 22:36 basically said this, that he that have no sword, he that have no purse, get your purse. And if you don't have a sword, sell your garment. You need to buy one. You need to buy one, family. You need to buy one. There it is right there. Luke 22:36. He said to them, but now if you have a purse, take it with you. Because in times of war, the supply lines and everything's going to be cut off. As a matter of fact, you may have a preview of war just by watching The Walking Dead. If you've seen The Walking Dead or you've seen the movie The Purge, people were out here getting what they could. They were surviving on what they could survive on. If they found them a bat, they was making bats, and they was making weapons out of anything. Okay, and money, resources were scarce. He said to them, but now if you have a purse, take it. And also a bag. And if you don't have a sword, you need to pawn your Coke, pawn them Jordans, pawn the table, pawn some silverware, and get you one. Just in case you need it. It's better to have a gun when you need it than to need a gun and you don't have it. I'm telling you right now. I'm begging you to become responsible gun owners and gun users. Now, today, don't wait, don't delay, don't hesitate. Do it now. If you don't come along with Firearms, go to Fire and Be Perfect. There are so many places you can go to. I just want you to get the training. I want you to acquire the knowledge. I want you to acquire the proficiency. I want you to be about the business of protecting yourself first. Okay? The first law of man is self-preservation, family. Self-preservation is the first law of the universe. Okay? Do not leave it up to somebody else to protect you. Again, I hope and I pray that I was clear on this whole Second Amendment. Who's the militia? The civilians. Who's the militia? Who is the well-regulated militia? It's the civilians. You, if you are a civilian, you are the well-regulated militia family. Okay? You. And accept your responsibility. Accept your right. Okay? Accept it. Accept it. So again, I'm not going to hold you. Again, I'm going to leave up here. Let me lead this up here again. That Keller versus the District of Columbia. The Supreme Court held that the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to possess a firearm. You have no more excuses. The only excuse you have is this: I don't have the training. I need the training. Go to lwftraining.com. If I cannot help you, I will send you to somebody else. But at the end of the day, I need you to be serious about protecting yourself on these streets, in these neighborhoods. Okay? Not that you're walking in fear. We're not promoting fear. I'm promoting responsible gun ownership. Watch this, family. The criminals don't obey the laws. It's us law-abiding citizens that obey the laws. Okay? And when you understand that we are the only free nation in the world whose citizens can protect themselves without calling the police, and some of these laws that's on the books will hold up in court, that most citizens outside of America have to depend on law enforcement, and sometimes law enforcement is shady. We've seen Mexico. We've seen third world countries where only the thugs and some tyrannical rulers have the weapons. So do not do yourself a disservice. I need you to become responsible gun owners and users today. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I did with the word infringement. It says your right should not be infringed. Infringe refers to encroachment on a public sovereign right. You have a public and sovereign right. In other words, a right held collectively by the people as a sovereign body, like a state. States are free. States are sovereign. That's why governors run states. Not your legislator, not your senator, or not your congressman. The governors run the states. Okay? And they're entrusted with protecting the state. And when the government makes that call, when the police can't help, when the National Guard can't help, when the Coast Guard can't help, when the armies is depleted their resources, then they will call that well-regulated militia to secure the free state with arms. And that's you, and that's me. Again, I hope you learned something tonight. Okay? Again, you need to go to lwftraining.com and sign up for your gun classes. You need to also like this video, or you can dislike this video. You can share it, and I need you to subscribe to the channel. Okay? If you want to make any size donation, you can, because we're on multiple platforms. Okay? You see the Cash App at the bottom, and you see the PayPal. Okay? You can contribute. As a matter of fact, if I've added something to your life tonight, if I brought some value, if I cleared up some misconceptions, then it's nothing for me to ask from you to make a donation, to support. Because I will not be satisfied until I'm seeing Loan with Firearms in every city, in every state. Because I think you need a Loan with Firearms in every city, in every state, and even outside of this country. I'm not limited to America. I got this gun piece. Know how to do it. Again, you see the Cash App, you see the PayPal. Okay? I ask you to share this video, like this video, or dislike it. Okay? I need you to subscribe to the channel. With that said, if anybody has a question, they can ask me. I'm going to end this at 9 o'clock. It's 8:53. You can put your questions right now in the chat, and we go from there. If not, again, I want you to have a, before I say this, I want you to think about what I said tonight. Again, everybody's talking about other things, but I believe the reason why I'm talking to you right now like this, because there was a word given to me some years ago, that the proof of love is the willingness to protect. You want to know if a person really, really, really love you, or love their family, or love their city, or love their state, or love their country? Are they willing to protect it? If you're not willing to protect yourself, your family, your community, the culture, then your love is like artificial intelligence. It's artificial. And artificial intelligence has no feelings. AI has no feelings. So a lot of people's love out here is artificial. They don't have no feelings. They don't have no feelings. No. The proof of love is the willingness to protect. Are you willing to protect the thing you love, the people you love, the city you love, the state you love, the nation you love, the culture that you love? If you are, I need you to become responsible gun owners and gun users today. Don't delay. You don't worry about the price. You don't worry about the prices. You just sign up. You make yourself available for the training. Again, we have virtual classes. That first day for that wear and carry class or that concealed carry is a virtual class. Yes, it is. It's a 9 to 5 virtual class. Second day is face to face. You got to go to the range and you have to do a live fire. You got to shoot. On that handgun qualification class, it's a 5 or 4 hour class. You'll be in study for at least 2-3 hours. And that last hour, you go to the range and we do some shooting. You have no more excuses. Again, I plead you, I implore you. This is not a right or left issue. This is not a conservative or liberal issue. This is a right of the people to be secure, to secure also the free state. It's a right to bear arms. And watch this. I don't know if I wrote this. Yeah, I did. When you understand the importance of the Second Amendment, then you understand the importance of the First Amendment. That First Amendment says that Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise. It protects speech. It protects the press. It protects the assembly and the right to petition. So when you understand that Second Amendment, the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment, which is freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, and the right to petition. This is why we have a Second Amendment. It protects all these protests out here these days. It protects your right to go to any church you want to. Hell, you can go to the Church of Satan if you want to. It's a religion. The Second Amendment protects that. Okay? It protects your right to speech, whether you're on social media, whether you write it on a billboard, or whether you call into a talk show. It protects the press to publish, to write articles, to call out injustices. Assembly, those who come together and protest in every state and petition, our right to petition government for issues. The Second Amendment protects the First Amendment, family. That's why it was written, to protect these laws that we cherish. Okay? So with that said, I'm going to bring this to a close. I hope I explained this Second Amendment with some clarity, that you're right as a civilian to bear arms and it would not be infringed, that you are supposed to be in standby mode just in case you need to secure the free state from tyrannical leadership and from foreign and domestic enemies who want to replace us. It's so much bigger than a Republican or a Democrat issue. It's not that. So much bigger than these youngers out here shooting. It's so much bigger than that. Okay? So, I'm going to bring it to an end. I want to thank you all for showing up. I see Wayne Walker's on. I see, let me see who's on here. I'm not seeing everybody in my stream, but I see Wayne, I see Sarita, I see Carissa, I see Trinetta. I want to thank you all. And those who I can't see, I want to thank you for taking time out your day to listen to this broadcast. Again, I'm gonna try to come every day at 8 o'clock to 9. It's just that important. And sound the alarm. And sound the alarm. Okay, get your mind off that foolishness and get your mind on serious things. Again, serious people do serious things. And this is very serious. Teaching somebody how to protect themselves is forever. It's not temporary. And I need to teach you how to protect yourselves. With that said, always remember this. It's not how much you know, family. It is how much you care. And I care for you. Want nothing but the best for you. That is my goal. Okay, I care for you. I care for you. That's why I do this. I do this because I care. Okay, and always remember this: there is a lone wolf in you. A lone wolf don't need the pack. A lone wolf can be separated from the pack and still survive. Stop waiting for somebody to do what you can do yourself. Stop waiting. That's why it's called Lone Wolf Firearms, LWF training, because there is a lone wolf in you, and I'm determined to pull it out. With that said, have a great evening. Enjoy yourselves. Again, don't forget to share this broadcast. Don't forget to like it or dislike it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're going to change the world one person at a time. Again, it's 9 o'clock. My time is up. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.